Harry's wife, an apology from the Sussexes. Harry's wife is a narcissist. I've examined a wealth of material that supports that finding. Anybody that thinks she is not a narcissist does not understand narcissism. Anybody that thinks she is not a narcissist does not have the capacity to review objectively the evidence that demonstrates what she is. There is a wealth of material that supports what she actually is. Now, with narcissists, there are many which will never apologise. The narcissist does not see that they have done anything wrong, and therefore there's nothing to apologise for. This is part of the sense of entitlement, and it is allied with a lack of accountability. The narcissist is always right, you are always wrong. Accordingly, a failure to apologise is an indicator. An inability to accept that the individual is culpable in some shape or form is an indicator. And of course, when we have determined that somebody is a narcissist, we are able to see this absence of accountability, culpability, liability on repeated occasions. Some narcissists do apologise. This is more usually found amongst the mid-range narcissists who believe that they're good people. Lessers are what you see is what you get. They're essentially wrecking balls. You don't like me? Fuck you. Don't like the way I run my company? Fine, there's the door. What you see is what you get. With the mid-range narcissists, they truly believe that they're decent, empathic people, and they can't understand when people are mean to them, horrible to them. Why are they treating me this way? I've not done anything bad towards them. Well, I've decided that I'm not involving myself with that person because they've been horrible to me. Always the victim. Some mid-range narcissists will therefore issue apologies. It's false contrition. It's not genuine. It's done as a further manipulation. Sometimes it is clearly conditional. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that you're upset by what I've done. I'm sorry that you feel angry about me expressing myself. Those aren't apologies. They're merely recognition that you're upset, and the message that is being sent to you is to tell you you shouldn't be, and therefore the narcissist has nothing to apologise for. Some narcissists will say, I'm really sorry for what I've done, I won't do it again. But because they're a narcissist, it's false contrition. It's just being said in the moment to con you, to make you think that person is seeking forgiveness, is sorry for what they have done. Accordingly, with narcissists, there is no sense of accountability. There cannot be, because accountability threatens a sense of control. Some narcissists never apologise, indeed revel in not apologising. Others offer a conditional apology, which is obvious, and others will apologise, but because they're a narcissist, it's clearly not one. But here, it would appear that it's time for an apology. Harry is capable of an apology. He does have emotional empathy. Unfortunately for him, he's being led by the nose and something else in relation to his wife, whereby he's repeatedly told that they have nothing to apologise for, and he's bought into that mindset. His sense of entitlement has been increased as a consequence of the application of her manipulations, drawing him into their awful shared fantasy, so he believes that others should be apologising to him. She sees no reason to apologise, but might do so as a consequence of the necessity of the assertion of control, although she doesn't realise that is why she's doing it. Nevertheless, we've seen them wanting an apology, but Alison Pearson of The Telegraph believes that she sees that the gruesome twosome should apologise to the royal family, and, to assist them, she's written an apology on their behalf. Harry and Harry's wife owe the royal family an apology. Lucky for them, I've already written it. tells us Alison Pearson. Instead of demanding that the palace say sorry, the Sussexes should take time out from being reality TV stars to start grovelling. After their 6-part Netflix series, How We Suffered So Much, The Royals Are Awful, Don't Exploit Our Children, Leave That to Us, Please Send Large Cheque, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly asking for a sit-down meeting and an apology from Buckingham Palace before they deign to attend the coronation. Sense of entitlement, prescriptive behaviour, assertion of control. Victim mentality. The Sunday Times reported that Harry and Harry's wife want their own apology after Lady Susan Hussey had reconciliation with Ngozi Fulani, aka Marlene, the head of Sister Space, who took her allegation of racism to social media after the senior courtier repeatedly asked her, "Where are you from?" Personally, I don't think 83-year-old Lady Susan should have promised to deepen her awareness of the sensitivities involved. It felt like our late Queen's close companion for 60 years was taking part in some Maoist show trial, obliged to confess to a serious crime. But back to the King and Queen of grievance. They are so right. An apology is certainly in order after the docu-series, Harry and Harry's Wife. Except the apologies need to flow in the opposite direction, that demanded by the two reality TV stars. Let me help them draft the email. Dear X, we are truly sorry for all of the following. We are sorry, Harry said he had enormous respect for his late grandfather when he showed the antithesis of respect by appearing on Oprah on March 7, 2021, when he knew Prince Philip was in hospital and clearly terminally ill. The Duke was discharged on March 16th, dying 3 weeks later. We acknowledge that the allegations launched at the royal family in that broadcast, including one of racism, would have caused deep embarrassment and worry to Harry's grandparents in their final days together. Harry claims that he inherited the Duke of Edinburgh's cheeky-chappy traits. We are sincerely sorry that such a comparison was ever made. We know full well that the late Duke of Edinburgh would have thought his grandson was behaving like a damn fool, and he never suffered fools gladly. Prince Philip guarded the reputation and well-being of Her Majesty for more than 70 years, and, had he lived, would have been apoplectic at our trashing of the family name. We accept that Prince Philip's most likely response to a British prince speaking fluent Californian therapies would be that Harry had gained a wife and lost a sense of humour. Seriously, guys, we would love to laugh at ourselves, but we're professional victims and lack all perspective. We regret including an expert in our docu-series who claimed the Commonwealth was just a continuation of empire. Of course, we know that Harry's late grandmother dedicated her life, whether it be long or short, to cherishing the Commonwealth, and that Elizabeth II herself did a huge amount to bring down racial barriers, not least when she danced with Ghana's President Kwame Nkrumah in Accra in 1961. Look, what can we say? It makes for a better story if we are the first royal anti-racists. We regret undermining Her late Majesty's amazing legacy so recently after her death, when the only reason we can command international attention and mega publishing deals is because of the title Harry inherited from the crown at birth. Funnily enough, we make our living off the back of the very white privilege we want to see torn down, but not in our case, because, bills to pay, mansions to buy. We are sorry we talk the language of love and kindness and are really horrible to nearly all our relations. It was mean of Harry to tell 80 million viewers that his brother screamed and shouted at him. Siblings say stuff, and it's better if it stays private, so that forgiving and forgetting is still an option. But hey, no one's going to give us $100 million for saying we should probably take our fair share of the blame, are they? Harry's wife is truly contrite about implying she only ever saw her dad at weekends when she was growing up. Harry's wife says the palace fed her to the media wolves, which is a really good description of what happened to her father when the media descended on him before our wedding. We are sorry Tom felt so ashamed and nervous he did a deal with a photographer to make himself look better for his daughter's fancy new in-laws. It was cruel of Harry to say that Harry's wife lost her dad, when in fact we cancelled him to spare ourselves further embarrassment, even though the poor guy just had a heart attack. That was cold, calculating and ruthless. All those things we accuse the Windsors of being. We'd like to apologise to the millions of Brits who voted for Brexit and whom we basically accused in our series of fueling racism against Harry's wife. We accept that many in the cheering crowds who lined the route of our wedding voted leave, and that the British people as a whole were thrilled that the prince they'd felt so protective of since his mother's death had got himself such a knockout bride. Furthermore, we humbly acknowledge that international studies suggest that the United Kingdom is one of the least racist countries in the world. We are sorry for fueling the impression in America, where we now live and which really does have a major problem with racism, that the United Kingdom, and the royal family in particular, took against Harry's wife because she is mixed race. We regret that several members of our staff who accused Harry's wife of bullying them, accusations which we of course deny, were made to sign non-disclosure agreements. As social justice warriors, we passionately believe that people a lot less powerful than us should be able to tell their truth, so long as it doesn't contradict the one truth that matters, ours. Finally, we'd like to apologise in advance for Harry's memoir, Spare, which comes out next month. Not a great start for King Charles to his coronation year, when he could do with everyone's support. Harry's dad has actually been pretty great, refusing to slam the door on us even though we behave like a pair of entitled brats, trashing the institution without which we'd be a pair of nobodies selling timeshares in Maroma Beach. Sorry, but we are working on a reconciliation soonest to get a ringside seat at the coronation, once we've banked the Netflix check and the book royalties. Sending holiday well wishes to Chilio Sandringham from a yacht in the sunny Bahamas. Love, Harry and Harry's wife. Now, of course, that is a piss take. But it does utilise the factual basis of the hypocrisies, unpleasant behaviours, nastiness, malicious activity, the lies, the revisions of history, the absence of emotional empathy, in identifying various aspects of Harry's wife's behaviour and that which she has impacted upon Harry. Let's have a little look below the line with regard to this article. Lisa Johnson, terrific. Harry might also apologise to his brother for hijacking Diana's memory as if she only had one son, to his father for accusing him of cutting me off financially, and most importantly to the memory of a grandmother who he failed to visit during his last trip when he must have known she was very ill. Instead, he did his absolute best to make her last month as anxious and as unhappy as possible. A bad, bad lot who found an even worse wife. Jeremy Friend. Inviting Ginge and Whinge to the coronation is a master's stroke. If they accept, it will be in the knowledge that they aren't even extras in the cast, but merely spectators. Their acceptance will be seen as acknowledging that their truth has all been lies, and that really they do need to be recognised as royalty. If they reject the invitation, they will show themselves to be the small-minded people we all know them to be. What a great quandary Charles has put them in. Neil Shepherd. The most ridiculous thing about Harry's wife is that she thought a 1,000-year-old institution at the centre of British life would be interested in the uneducated opinions and whims of a C-list celebrity divorcee from California. She didn't even bother to look up protocol on meeting with the Queen, sense of entitlement, but calls British people culturally insensitive and racist. MPs must now do the dirty work on behalf of king and country and return this pair of nitwits to their rightful station in life, private nobodies with limited talent. I feel for their children, but being raised by this woke pair, they definitely do not belong in the line of succession. Joy Webb, we don't hate them, we merely despise them. They really are not worth the bother of hatred. Able-bodied. And while they're at it, can we have an apology from Marlene Headley for releasing an immediate rant on Twitter about being racially abused by Miss Jose, rather than calmly dealing with it in private? Muttley Dastardly. Excellent article, and at least we are allowed to comment here. Yvonne Osprey. Yes, okay, but there needs to be more apologies. 1. Sorry, Archbishop, it was a lie that you broke the law and married us in the garden before the wedding. 2. Sorry, Stav, for being an impossible boss. 3. Sorry, I didn't realise I was the spare. 4. Sorry that I never told the wife that kingship wasn't just a popularity contest. 5. Sorry that I forgot to tell the wife that the Constitution of the UK demands impartiality in order to promote unity. 6. Sorry I forgot to tell the wife she couldn't just walk in and change stuff. No one wanted her to change anything. We are happy with slow change. That's the point. 7. Sorry the wife didn't get the message that she has to be careful with her choice of charity work and must not be seen to be political. 8. Just sorry. The wife should have invited her family and not a load of strangers to social climb. 9. Sorry about the ostentatious baby shower that my so-called friends used as a commercial opportunity to plug their products. 10. Sorry for the eco-hypocrisy. 11. Sorry for the very cruel anti-Kate rhetoric, hardly the work of anyone nice. 12. Sorry for the disrespectful curtsy. Why? What's so hard about respecting the Queen? Very clear that this journalist sees the hypocrisy of Harry's wife, and also that so many other people see there is so much for her to apologise for. Don't hold your breath. She's the one that wants the apology because her narcissism causes her to always, always, always be the victim. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.